with Z Memento, I love Innards Out a lot better. Mainly because the Pokemon eats up any hit anyway, even if it's boosted. The only attacks that are really knocking this thing out are like Thunderbolts from Tapu Koko, or really strong Specs, Stab, super effective hits, whether that be Grass or Electric. But outside of that, it's not really going down to any one hit. And I really do like Innards Out with the Pokemon. But again, you can definitely run Unaware. It really is preference. Same thing with the EV spreads. Before we actually go on, EV spreads are very much preference to what you want it to do. If your team is weak to, let's say, Charizard X, right? Just to give an example of what would happen post Pokebang. Let's say your team is weak to Charizard X, and you want this thing to be able to take Dragon Claws or Outrages. Obviously, you're going to want to go physically offensive, and then you can just recover off the damage, toxic that thing, wear it down. If you're running the Psy-Up set or Psych-Up set, I keep saying it two different ways. I'm pretty sure it's Psych-Up, but potato, same thing. It doesn't matter. If you're running the Psych-Up set, you just toxic it, you recover, and you stall it out. And then if it's boosted with if it's boosted with like a Swords Dance or a Dragon Dance or whatnot, though again, if we're playing on the Smogon rules, you can't baton pass Dragon Dances because it boosts the speed plus another stat. But if you are playing on like Battle Spot or anything else, you could definitely just baton pass that. But what you would do is just wear it down. But obviously in that case, it would be more physically defensive. But if you wanted to be taking on weaker hits from, let's say, Aegislash, or like Alakazam, or you just wanted to be taking on special attacks in general, I also just like physically defensive because there's strong mons like High Jump Kicking Pheromosa running around, as well as like Buzzwole just running around. So physically defensive allows you to at least eat up one hit or two from those, and with Baton Pass around. Like I said, the key point to this Pokemon is the fact that it has so many great support options, and you can just Baton Pass and pretty much just have so much momentum. As I mentioned earlier, there was the example of my boy Gator, who literally clicked Baton Pass for about 40 minutes in the Showdown Live. Like, I've used this Pokemon, and I've used it alongside him, and I've watched him use it as well. And he literally just clicked Baton Pass for 40 minutes in the Showdown Live. And this mon was always able to force switches because some people were scared to attack it because of Innards Out. Other people couldn't attack it because of Unaware. And also, you don't know what ability it has. So, yeah, this set really does cater to what you needed to do for your team, but I typically like physically defensive because a lot of boosting mons are physical attackers. Yeah, there's Combine and Quiver Dance boosting mons, but a lot of them typically are like physical attackers with Swords Dance and things like that. So, the next up is the Soak set, which pretty much just takes Psych Up from the Pikamaku and I love the name, by the way. It takes the Psych Up set and just adds Soak on it. Soak is also another option with Unaware. Soak allows you to poison pretty much anything. If you go for Soak, it becomes a water type. So a Steel type would become a water type. A Poison type would become a water type, and then you can toxic it. Now, that's not to say that your opponent won't switch right away. If I see someone soaking me, I'm automatically thinking, oh man, a status move is coming next. Especially when you're facing a Pokemon with nothing but support options. However, that does force switches once again, which just goes into, or ties into the fact that Baton Pass is so good on this Pokemon. It's forcing so many switches, and what Soak does is, it would change your opponent to Water type. They're going to be scared of the Toxin. They're going to switch out, and you don't even have to Toxin that turn. And even if they're boosting Mon, you have Unaware as well. So you don't even care if they start boosting. Even if you get the Baton Pass wrong, right, and they boost again, or they Swords Dance, or anything like that. Even if they get even if you get that wrong, like, you can just come in again. You have Unaware, so you don't care about their boost. They're not boosted at all. But Baton Pass just gives you so much momentum on this set as well. Now, there are other options. One of them, these aren't all one set. I'm just giving you some options. One of them is the Mental Herb. Mental Herb protects you from taunt for one turn, which is pretty useful on a Pokemon that can only go for attacks that can be taunted outside of like Bide and Counter. So it's pretty useful on this Pokemon. The other option is Counter. The fact that it has really good base defenses, Counter is definitely an option to be able to take physical attacks and smack something back with double the power. Whereas Curse is also another option on a Baton Pass set because it doesn't boost the speed, it lowers the speed, so you can Baton Pass Curses around. And with Unaware tying that in, you don't even have to run Unaware with that set, because if you're cursing up alongside a Dragon Dancer, you're going to take the hits anyway because you're canceling it out every single time you're cursing. But you can run Unaware with that set and curse and just Baton Pass and Sweeper. Maybe you can run a White Herb on the Pokemon that you're Baton Passing to as well, which would still give them the attack and defense raises of Curse, but it would cancel out the speed drop and they can come in like at max speed. Maybe like Baton Pass into like a Sharpedo or something with speed boost. And Rain Dance is also another option which you can run with a damp rock, and that will give you multiple turns of rain. However, in this generation, where there are Pokemon like Pelipper and Politoed, all that can start the rain, that's really up to you if you want to run that. But these are just the other options that it has. I mean, it has a ton of options. I don't think Pain Spray is ever necessary when you have Recover. Again, Rest Sleep Talk, I don't think it's also a good option when you have Recover. You can substitute Baton Pass. That's also another option. I'm not a big fan of Taunt when, look how slow you are. You have 5 base speed. You actually have the number 5 base speed, which is 15 with like 0 IVs. Let's make it Brave Nature too. Let's see how low we can get this. What is that like? Gonna be like 11, 14, 13? Okay, great. 13 speed. So I don't think Taunt is a good option, but it does stop potentially like Skarmory and Hippowdon from Whirlwinding you out, because Whirlwind is negative priority, and if you taunt them, they can't phase you out, which means you get a Taunt Pass. But outside of that, really, I don't think there's any very many other options. Venom Drench is cool if you like toxic your opponent because you lower their attacks with second speed by 1. But that's, you know, that's really all that I think Pyukamaku has to offer. I think it's a really, really, really cool mon, the fact that it just gains so much momentum and you don't really know what ability it has. I love the in and out ability. Like I said, there's been games where, oh crap, my team wasn't prepped for this Pokemon. Let me just throw out my Pyukamaku and let it die and take down my opponent's Pokemon with me. So, yeah, I hope you guys all enjoyed this video. Definitely expect a live with this Pokemon, as well as maybe another Showdown Live today featuring another Pokemon. But, yeah. Feel free to follow me on Twitch and Twitter. Links are down below. Subscribe for more, and I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.
Pyukamaku!
Racist moron. Filthy, dirty Santa.
Exactly. Pyukamaku!
Yo, what's up guys? You got PokeAim here with my next competitive Pokemon Sun and Moon moveset video guide on how to use a Pokemon moveset. Yo, what's up guys? You got PokeAim here with my next competitive Pokemon Sun and Moon moveset video guide on how to use a Pokemon, moveset analysis, whatever you want to call it. This time we're going to be talking about Kumala, the koala Pokemon. This is probably one of my favorite mons from Generation 7. We talked about Marowak the other day, which is also one of my favorite mons to use in Sun and Moon. But Kumala is probably my favorite Pokemon from Sun and Moon outside of like Salandit and Golisopod. So this Pokemon's really cool because it sports a really nice base 115 attack with decent base 95 speed depth. Unfortunately, the rest of its stats, HP, defense, and speed, are all base 65, as well as a pretty lackluster special attack. But it's a really cool Pokemon, the ability Comatose. Now, Comatose means that you can't be status outside of anything but sleep. You're in a constant state of sleep, of drowsiness. This is also kind of why I like this Pokemon, because I can definitely relate to it. And basically, you can't be paralyzed, you can't be poisoned, you can't be burnt because of Comatose. Now, you can be confused. You can be confused by something like Swagger, or by a move having a secondary chance of confusing you, like Dizzy Punch or something like that. You can be confused. That's because it's never counted as, I want to say it is a status, but it never counted as like one of the main statuses, meaning you could be paralyzed and confused, you could be burnt and confused, you could be poisoned and confused, and you could be tired and confused. So, basically, you still can be confused. That's something I just wanted to clear up, because I wasn't 100% sure, so I checked on Showdown, I did my research on the game, and whatnot, and I was also told by my friends at this, so I just want to share that with you. But we have a couple sets with this thing. One of my favorite sets to use right now is the Support Spin set. Now, this takes advantage of the fact that Kumala does have some decent base special defense. Unfortunately, it doesn't have the best HP, but it's a Wish, U-Turn, Rapid Spin, Earthquake set, which focuses on mainly your HP. You're going to be putting 248 in your HP, as well as 212 speed depth. Now, the 48 attack allows you to 2 KO, support Marowak, as well as beating Aegislash in shield form on top of blade form. So it kills, basically, you 3 KO Aegislash 100% after rocks with Earthquake. But if it's in shield form, then turns in blade form, it's somehow faster than you. You're going to be able to knock it out in that way. But mainly it's there because it allows you to hit steel types, hit Tox effects as well for 3 KO with rocks up, and as well as the fact that it allows you to deal with Aegislash, which is a spin blocker, as well as Marowak, which are both spin blockers. Because the point of this set is to rapid spin away the hazards, take advantage of the fact that Comatose cannot be paralyzed, burnt, or poisoned by toxic spikes. Toxic spikes is the big one, so take advantage of the fact that you can't be poisoned by toxic spikes, and then rapid spin away the hazard versus the main ghost types right now in the tier, which would be Aegislash and Marowak. Those are the along with Marowak, those are the most common ghost types right now in the tier. So you're able to hit those, you can rapid spin away. It also gains you some momentum because it does have access to U-turn, and then Wish is your main form of recovery. You're not going to be passing big wishes, meaning Wish takes advantage, or Wish would be passing half your health, so you don't have the best health, but it is your main form of recovery outside of leftovers, and just Wish plus U-turn is nice for gaining momentum if your opponent tries to switch. But the 48 attack is just there so you can deal with Marowak as well as Aegislash respectively, as well as giving you a damaging move for Toxapex that doesn't touch his Baneful Bunker, which doesn't really matter because you can't be poisoned obviously, but it also means you don't have to touch King Shield if you use like Shadowfall or something like that. So next up, I actually really like this set because Kamala, like I said, does have really nice base special defense and can definitely eat up special hits and beats Aegislash. It beats Marowak just because it's a normal type. If it is support Marowak anyway, support Marowak isn't very strong since it doesn't run any attack EVs, and the Earthquake, you outspeed it and you 2 a KO support Marowak. That's special defensive Marowak, which is what I'm talking about. Non-HP invested Marowak. But it's really nice versus Aegislash because right now their offensive options that they're running are Shadow Ball and then Flash Cannon. There is the rare Sacred Sword, which you do have to watch out for, but if it's Shadow Ball, you obviously are immune to that, and if it's Flash Cannon, it's not going to do too much. Next up we have...
Insertion in 10 seconds. Insertion in 5 seconds. Location of biohazard container unknown. Clear to engage.
Stay close to me.
You have found the biohazard container.
Stay behind me.
Going live. Clear. Going live. Cluster charge deployed.
Follow me. We have this. Move carefully.
Cluster charge deployed. Charge is hot.
Damn it.
One friendly operator remaining.